We're on a 3-night city break here in Reykjavik in Iceland, and isn't it beautiful? Look at it.
Gorgeous.
We got a lot of fun planned, so come along and join us for all the fun. Well, hello from day one of our 3-night break here in beautiful Reykjavik. Just look at that gorgeous scenery behind us. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, it's been a brilliant morning so far, hasn't it?
It has. It was an early start this morning. We left at 2:45, and the flight was for 6:30. Painless. Everything was painless. We got a nice breakfast roll this morning just to keep us going.
Yeah, it's all right. I know it's lunchtime. Well, just after lunchtime now, and we're already in Reykjavik. And we took the fly bus from Keflavik to Reykjavik bus station. It works out about £40 to £50 per person. But it's pretty painless, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Pretty painless. And once you're here, you take the shuttle bus to your hotel, and they pretty much drop us right by the hotel. And the hotel is fine, the Foss Hotel Baron. We've stayed here before, haven't we?
We have, and it's a lovely hotel. You know, no frills or anything, but
it's budget and it's no frills, but it's fine, isn't it? It's functional.
Fine, yeah.
So we're just going to take a wander down on the seafront. We're going to go down to the Snowmobiling sculpture, and then we're a bit hungry, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a lot warmer than I thought it was going to be fair. I came in my giant big thick coat, but I've changed into a lighter jacket actually because it's actually quite warm.
It's about 5-6 degrees, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's not too bad.
Anyway, the plans are we're going to have a mooch around Reykjavik this afternoon, and we've got some big plans for tomorrow. We're going to do the Golden Circle, which we've never done before, even though we've been to Reykjavik a few times.
Yep.
We've got a few surprises on that one as well, hopefully. And then we're going down to the South Shore on the second day before we fly home. So it's a short break, but hopefully lots of adventure, lots of fun. Stick with us.
Lots of cook exploring.
So this was a weekend where we wanted to pack in some fun and experience attractions in Iceland we hadn't done before. But today was our travel day and was a very early start at 1:45 a.m. to get to the airport, and we decided this day would be spent revisiting favourite haunts in downtown Reykjavik.
After checking into our hotel, it was lunchtime before we could begin to explore. First though, to pose for that iconic picture with the mountains in the background, and a kind passerby offered to take our picture, and one of himself too. Thanks whoever you are, you made us laugh. So then on to our first port of call, and it was the incredible Sun Voyager sculpture. And it always amazes us that although this sculpture closely resembles a Viking longboat, apparently this wasn't the designer's original intention. I think I need to understand art a bit more, I think.
And from the Sun Voyager, you can see up towards the tall church tower of Hallgrimskirkja, and that's where we headed next.
Selfies done, but rumbling tummies needed sorting first, and we headed into the nearby Babalu Cafe with its colourful exterior and fascinating interior. So what are you having, guys?
Well, yeah, it was really good. I had a grilled cheese, which is basically a toasted cheese sandwich, and I had cheese, tomato and pesto, and it came with a nice side salad. Really tasty. I really enjoyed it. Just what I needed, a really good pick-me-up.
Out of 5?
Yeah, I would give it, I don't know, I think I'd give it a solid 5. It was very tasty.
Ooh, high praise indeed.
Yeah.
So empty bowl, so it can't have been bad, but really nice, good homemade tomato soup with plenty of herbs and a little bit of seasoning in it as well. Bread was nice, the butter was absolutely spot on. So yeah, I definitely, as soups go, it was a good solid 4, 4.5.
Wow, that's good.
Babalu is one of several iconic cafes in Reykjavik that has both a loyal local following and is also a magnet for tourists. If you are not sure why this cafe is so popular, why not go to the toilet?
May the force be with you, Nettie, in a way that isn't food hygiene related in any case. What a cafe, loved it again.
So shall we head back inside the church, Si? Maybe we'll catch the organ practice again.
So we're at the fabulous Hallgrimskirkja, and we've been in before, and we know it's absolutely stunning inside. And we've been up to the top as well. You get great views across the city. Not sure we'll go back up to the top today, We're certainly going to have a little look inside again because it's absolutely gorgeous inside. Getting up the tower is worth it if you've not done it before, and it costs 1400 kroner. The views across the city and surrounding bay are very special. The church itself is free to visit and its interior is beautiful, with its simplicity adding to the atmosphere within. And whilst you're soaking up the atmosphere within, if you're very lucky, it'll be time for organ practice.
Just stunning.
Wow, that's amazing in there. We've been in before, but it's just wonderful, isn't it?
We were treated to the most amazing music, weren't we?
We've been lucky twice now, haven't we?
We
come
have.
here. We've done that. They do organ practice, obviously, here on a Thursday in the afternoon, and the organist is in there just practicing, ready for the next service. And the sound is stunning, isn't it?
It is. It's gorgeous. The acoustics in there.
Yeah, the acoustics are
Amazing.
something else. I don't know whether the microphones on the phones will do it justice or
No.
whatever, but it's something you have to experience.
It's absolutely
if
amazing.
you're in Reykjavik on a Thursday in the afternoon,
Try it.
go and sit in the church. So what an experience.
Really good.
Okay, where next?
Okay.
What are you doing, eh?
Oh, I can't see Nick and Jill's sticker.
No Gen X sticker on there?
No.
Oh, they're missing out, aren't they? You better get up here soon.
So we followed the Rainbow Road down into the town and couldn't resist the photo opportunity.
So street art spotting and shopping it is then. And what have we seen there, Nettie?
Here we go into the Magic Ice Bar.
What are you seeing, Si?
I'm not sure I could bear to go in here. I think we know someone that will like this place. And look, you can even send a letter to Santa. How wonderful. Okay, so this was shops, restaurants, and a punk museum in the toilet. It could only be Reykjavik. So we've just found Iceland's punk museum. It's a museum of Icelandic punk music and it's fabulous. We've done it on a previous visit and it's a whole heap of fun, and it's in an old public toilet. What's not to like? If you're in Reykjavik, do this. It's a definite must do.
Prime Minister's house, tick. Harper Concert Hall, tick. Such lovely views across the bay. Can you get the drone up, Si? Be good to get those views.
So we've just tried to get the drone up, but it's a bit windy, to be honest, and I didn't fancy losing it. We had one go, but it wasn't particularly successful. It's a shame for some lovely views across down the fjord there over the mountains. And a wind has really come over now. It's getting really chilly. That's typical Reykjavik, all 4 seasons in an afternoon. But yeah, temperature is plummeted.
It's got chilly, hasn't it?
Starting to sleet now, and it's got freezing, so we're going to go and find somewhere a bit warm. So Nettie, it's cold and it's raining and sleeting. What's the plan?
Lemmies.
Let's go. Lemmy's is one of Reykjavik's many themed bars. It is a live music venue too, with the Wi-Fi code being AC/DC. Well, you get the picture, and it's been voted the best place for live music in 2025 within Reykjavik. Let's rock and get the beers in. In our increasingly popular feature, beer review, Nettie is in Lemmy's in Reykjavik and is going to try, what are you trying?
I'm trying the white ale.
Okay,
This white ale, it apparently is brewed on the premises.
Ooh.
And so I'm really looking forward to trying this.
Okay,
so
go
let's
for
give
it.
it a go. Oh yeah, yeah. It's got a real zing to it. It's very sort of citrusy, but it's like light and crisp. It looks cloudy.
I say that, it looks a bit cloudy,
It
doesn't
does
it?
look cloudy, yeah, but it's absolutely delicious. I can see myself having a few of these.
Out of 5?
I'd give it 5.
Wow, great review.
Yay!
You love Lemmy's, don't you, Si?
Now it's Simon's turn for his review. What have you got there, Si?
So I've gone for Reykjavik staple Gull, and I've already had a few slurps, so I know I enjoy it already, but let's do it for the camera. And it's very, very clean, very, very fresh.
a little bit citrusy, but incredibly drinkable. It's going to go down very, very easily, and definitely a 5.
We do love lemmies, and we decided to stay a while whilst the rain blew over and enjoyed a few more beers.
Okay, we need to eat, so let's find somewhere. Reykjavik is so lovely just to amble around and explore. Colourful streets and interesting shop windows and fish and chips. Oh no, Si won't let us walk past this after a couple of beers.
The wonderful Lemmy's has occupied quite a bit of time this afternoon. It is a great bar. We've had a few beers and we're feeling a bit peckish, got the munchies, so we've come for a bite to eat. We've come to one of Reykjavik's many fish and chip restaurants. It's a bit pricey, but then everything is here in Reykjavik. But we've got a Viking light beer to wash down our fish and chips with, and it's not as good as gold, but pretty decent.
So it was tasty fish and chips and some more beer. Really good this, and it had been a brilliant day so far.
Where are you heading now, Si?
So Reykjavik's expensive, right? And of course, if you need snacks and treats and stuff, you want to save a bit of money. So the place to go apparently is Bonus, and you can tell you're at Bonus because there's a big pig at the front of the shop.
So Bonus is a real money saving tip, and we needed snacks and drinks for lunches on the excursions that we'd planned for the following 2 days. Eating out in cafes and restaurants isn't cheap in Iceland, and the prices in this supermarket are comparable with a high-end supermarket in the UK.
Somebody's happy with their bonus.
Then back to the Sun Voyager. It was getting late now and the sun was setting, and the crowds that normally accumulate around the sculpture weren't there, so we took the opportunity to get the drone up quickly.
Well, we've had a brilliant day in Reykjavik now. We've been to the Hallgrimskirkja, we've eaten fish and chips, we've been in bars and drank far too much.
Bonus!
Been in Bonus, bought chocolate, it's been a great day. Really enjoyed it. We got I've been up since stupid o'clock this morning, 1:30, 2:15, something like that. So it's not going to be a late night for us, which is just as well given all the beer we've drunk so far today. But what a fantastic day. Looking forward to tomorrow, where we're going to Golden Circle and hopefully a little bit of snowmobiling. But what we're going to do is going to head back to the hotel now and warm up, I think is the phrase.
And get an early night.
Because the temperature has really dropped.
It has.
All right, stay tuned.
We enjoyed the views across the bay as we walked and headed back to the warmth of the hotel.
We chilled in our room and got our heads down for some sleep ahead of tomorrow's big adventures. Join us in the next video where we see the sights in Iceland's famous Golden Circle, and also see how we get on when we try our hands at riding snowmobiles. Thanks for watching.
It was day 2 of our Iceland adventure, and we had a full day planned. And let's just say that for Cooks Explore, plans seldom work out as intended.
Well, would you believe it? We have broken down. There's our bus.
The day started, of course, with a hearty breakfast at our hotel, and this was a good breakfast too. We fueled up in preparation for an expected long day ahead. So what have you got planned, guys?
Good morning.
Morning!
Day 2 here in Reykjavik. We're just going off on our excursion now.
Oh, exciting day today.
It is, yeah. Hopefully we're going to see the Golden Circle at last.
Yay!
And do a bit of snowmobiling if all goes well. Just making our way down to bus stop 9.
Looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day today as well.
Sun's out.
This was an excursion booked through Viator, and we were collected from bus stop 9 close to our hotel. This bus took us to Reykjavik's main bus terminal, where we transferred onto a luxury coach and we set out on our adventure. Our guide narrated facts about the scenery and the way of life in Iceland as we headed out of Reykjavik towards Thingvellir National Park. And this place is not just scenic, but is historic too, and is where the first ever Icelandic parliament was established in AD 930, continuing there until 1798. And it is also a place where the separation of the Eurasian and American tectonic plates can be clearly seen, and this wonder of nature has created some of the most spectacular scenery imaginable.
And we parked up at the visitor centre and viewpoint and were given a short period to explore. We wandered out to the viewpoint high above the Rift Valley. Wow, how beautiful this place is. Photos taken, we couldn't resist the urge to scamper down into the canyon below, admiring the spectacle of the rock having split open as the 2 tectonic plates move apart in opposite directions. First impressions then, guys?
Well, we've been on the bus for about 45 minutes. We've ended up at this amazing viewpoint
Absolutely stunning.
in Thingvellir National Park. It's absolutely stunning. We haven't got long here, we've got 20 minutes, so it's a bit of a scamper around just to see what we can see.
We've got to go to the toilet in that time as well.
We did, though, have just enough time to scamper up to a second viewpoint. And for the second time in the space of a few minutes, wow!
Then we had to head back to the bus. You liked it here, didn't you, Si?
I think it's fair to say this is some spot. Absolutely stunning. Wish we had longer.
Then just enough time to use the loo before boarding our bus and heading back out on the road, and the scenery continued the wow factor as we travelled towards Geysir. And Geysir is of course the place that gave its name to the geological phenomenon of geysers, where superheated water erupts into the air from the hot underground rock below. And this area has several geysers, including the Great Geyser, which sadly seldom erupts these days, but the nearby Strokkur erupts to wow and soak visitors every 7 to 10 minutes, ejecting water up to 35 metres into the air.
We wandered up to where crowds were waiting for Strokkur to erupt, and we waited with cameras poised. And then, wow! Look at those people over there getting wet. Ha! That's funny.
Come on, let's wander around there and make sure we aren't downwind the eruption. I think if we stand here, we should get a good shot and stay dry.
And of course, like idiots, we forgot that the wind can change direction, and we became shrouded in hot, smelly, sulphurous steam.
Being downwind of the geyser isn't the smartest. Absolutely soaking in sulphurous water. That's quite a sight.
All the geysers are just fascinating to watch. Not all erupt and some just bubble away. We wandered around the geothermal area, marvelling at the magical power of nature.
We then climbed the hillside to a viewpoint to take in the views across the geysers and the surrounding areas.
This day kept giving us wow moments, and we were loving it.
Right, we're heading back down to the springs and geysers and the visitor centre now. Going to try and get a bit of lunch.
One more pose for Strokkur, and we were stood in the right place this time. Then into the visitor centre for some snacks and a comfort break before boarding the bus once again, and we barely had time to scoff our cookies before we arrived at the Gullfoss Waterfall.
We walked past the visitor centre and followed the crowds towards the viewpoint, and this is a spectacular place worthy of even more wows.
So we've made it to Gullfoss and our supermarket sweet tour of Iceland. Look at this, absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. People have said how good this place is and how gorgeous it is. And they weren't joking. It's just a shame we haven't got very long here. We've literally got 20 minutes tops. And we've got to get back because we're going out on our snowmobiling adventure. But what a spot.
But there was just enough time to take some spectacular video of these majestic falls.
Then back to the... hang on, that's a different bus. And look at those wheels. We were now, of course, about to head out onto the nearby glacier for our snowmobiling event. Once all our party was aboard, our driver set off towards the glacier which lay ahead, and we assumed those wheels were that size for a reason. And the road we followed was deserted, with lying snow slowly thickening as we gradually climbed, and the views were incredible. And yes, we did say wow quite a lot.
The road became a dirt track and also became narrower, and the snow became deeper. The few other vehicles that we encountered had to navigate around us. This was some journey when... hang on, is that smoke?
Well, would you believe it? We have broken down. There's our bus. It's stuck up in the snowfields here on our way to base camp. And there was a load of smoke. And it just stopped. And now we're stranded here awaiting rescue, believe it or not. We go snorkeling in the Pee Islands and the boat breaks down. We go snowmobiling in the Iceland, the glaciers, and the bus breaks down.
There's no desert island here though, unfortunately.
Definitely not a desert island, and I'm glad I got my hat on.
We were told another bus would rescue us, and so we waited and played in the snow. And we took the opportunity to get the drone up.
And the rescue bus has turned up, so we're going to continue on.
There was frantic activity to try and repair our original bus, but eventually we were told to board the rescue bus.
So we're aboard the other rescue bus now. We're just going to turn around and hopefully carry on to base camp.
So we continued our journey and eventually arrived at the base camp.
This was a stunning place, and we had been so lucky with the weather too. We eagerly snapped photos of these beautiful surroundings and the snowmobiles.
We were told to get dressed up into thermal clothing and safety gear provided by the base camp team.
Okay, so they've given us a whole load of gear. you know, an overall, snurred helmet. They can give you gloves as well, but we bought motorcycle gloves.
Yay.
So it might be a bit warmer than the ones they've given us. Really excited. Off we go. Let's go snowmobiling.
So excited.
We listened to our safety briefing and instructions on how to operate the snowmobiles, then time to climb aboard.
We started with Nettie as the pillion, and our group set off in convoy across the glacier. This was an awesome experience, and the views as we progressed left us speechless, not even a wow. We made steady progress into the mountains, and eventually our instructors told us to stop and take a break, and of course took photos of us on our snowmobiles.
How deep is the snow?
No, not very deep.
One more step. 2 more steps. He's sinking now. How deep is the snow? It's up to my knees here so far.
How was it, Si?
A little faster and better than my twig bike, I guess.
And you didn't fall off, you did really well.
Not yet, not yet. There is time for that. A few people have gone off already. Loads of fun, loads of upper body strength needed. Those just can steer it. It's quite hard to steer.
That was nice.
Are you going to have a go?
Hey?
You going to have a go?
Yeah.
So Nettie took over the controls as we set off again, and I was the pillion trying to film and not drop my phone as Nettie sped over every bump and ridge like a speed demon.
I can safely say that our Nettie is the Lewis Hamilton of snowmobiles. Did an amazing job.
This was so much fun, and what can you say about the scenery? We felt so lucky to be here doing this in this place at this time. A real moment in our lives and a true travel highlight.
But all good things sadly have to come to an end.
Did you enjoy that?
We did it! It was amazing! Best thing ever!
We got changed and boarded our bus to head off the glacier. Hang on, isn't that the bus that broke down?
And for the second time today, our bus has broken down and we've had to be rescued. So we've been rescued again for the second time. That's exciting. So we're back aboard our bus. It's our second rescue bus. And yeah, it's been a brilliant experience on the snowmobiles. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, their buses have a few mechanical issues, and we were so lucky with the weather as well. But the weather is just starting to turn, so we need to get off the glacier.
So lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
Our rescue bus slowly descended off the glacier, and after an hour we were back at Gullfoss.
Time to use the loos before boarding our original bus, and this trip of a lifetime was coming to an end, and we retraced our steps past Geysir and headed back to Reykjavik. You had a good day then, guys?
What a day.
We've had an awesome day.
Back at the hotel now. We've just quickly changed. It's 8 o'clock in the evening.
We're absolutely shattered because we were up early this morning.
We've been out for 12 hours and it's a whistle-stop day, isn't it? There's
It is.
literally just a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but
Supermarket sweep.
and we haven't really had time to eat properly. We had a cake
We've
and
had
that's
some,
it.
yeah, snacks really, haven't we?
And yesterday's shopping, good old bonus, proved in really useful. So top tip if you're doing this is to make sure you stock up on snacks.
Yeah, we took some drinks, didn't we? Some crisps and some chocolate bars and things.
Just
to keep
wasn't
us going.
enough time, was there?
No, not at all.
Not enough time to stop and have a meal or anything
No,
like
because you
that.
want to go and see what you've gone to see, not go and get something to eat.
So anyway, brilliant day. We've got another full-on day tomorrow. Hopefully going to see the South Shore waterfalls and maybe an ice cave tomorrow.
Yay!
It's be exciting. But for now, we're going to go and get something to eat.
Yeah.
We're not going to stray too far. There's a pizza place
just
up here.
The road.
That looks good. The lights are supposedly out tonight, but it's a bit cloudy, so I'm not too sure we'll get to see them.
I think my bed will be calling me anyway.
With that knacker, I think I'll be asleep before it gets dark. All right, stay tuned.
We found the pizza restaurant and enjoyed a beer and some somewhat overcooked pizza. Must make a note to the owners about how to save money on their cooking costs.
We had no energy to complain and instead consumed it and took a stroll to the Sun Voyager once again. Always a stunning sight. We were so happy to have had this experience in wonderful Iceland. It will go down as one of our best days exploring ever.
We had one more day of this short weekend break left, and surely it couldn't top this day. Surely it couldn't, could it?
This was our third and final day in Iceland, and we were determined to pack in more fun and adventure till the last. So what's the plan, guys?
Well, good morning.
Morning.
It's the third day here, isn't it? Crikey, yeah. It's our final day here in Iceland. We've got another big day planned. It's another early start, isn't it?
It is.
Another rushed breakfast and out ready for our collection here. We're going to the South Shore, going to see some waterfalls and hopefully go and explore an ice cave today.
Should be exciting.
Should be fun. Take care.
We were collected for our trip from right outside the hotel, and after a bus swap and a lay-by, we found ourselves speeding southwards towards Iceland's famous South Shore.
This was a 2-hour journey through Iceland's stunning scenery with a short toilet stop halfway.
This day was also the day of a partial solar eclipse which would be visible from Iceland, and we were checking the times of the eclipse hoping that we would be parked up somewhere with a clear sky when it happened.
Roman, our driver, pointed out sights as we headed for our first waterfall, Skógafoss, and as we parked up, the eclipse was just starting to happen, and we had 45 minutes to explore this incredible waterfall and enjoy the eclipse whilst there.
So here we are. Our first stop is Skógafoss, and look how beautiful is that?
Isn't it stunning?
Yay! We're going to go and see if we're going to get wet. Apparently, the driver said we're going to get drenched, so
Yeah, we've got
let's see.
45 minutes here. You can walk up to the bottom of it, and apparently at the side you can go up to a viewpoint at the top. So hopefully we'll have enough time.
Yeah, can you see that? There's the viewpoint
Hopefully we'll have
there.
enough time to do both. But it's been an interesting drive down, hasn't it?
It has, yes.
And past the big volcano that erupted in 2010. That was fascinating, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was very. You could see that it snowed last night, so it was very white to start off with, and then it started to get green, didn't it?
As for the eclipse, well, it's up there somewhere. It's a bit cloudy, so it's difficult to see. There was a little bit earlier on we could see it, but I don't think we're going to get a good view of it from here, unfortunately.
No.
Oh well, okay, let's have a last look at the waterfall, and then we'll go and have a wander up there.
And this waterfall is stunning, and the scale of it really becomes apparent as you approach.
It rightly attracts plenty of visitors, and people jostle for position at its base for the perfect shot. Drones are understandably prohibited, so how are you planning to get the close-up, Si?
And you can get pretty close. There's people climbing round there. Looks like it could be wet foot territory though. I might go and have a quick peek just to take a recce. Okay, I've managed to get around that rock. I'm getting up really close now. Check this out. Okay. Look how close we are here. How stunning. Oh, goodness gracious me. Look at this place. I'm getting really wet now. Oh, I'm not sure I want to go too much further. But look at this. I think this is as close as I'm going to get without getting absolutely sopping. What an experience.
So soggy but pleased with myself, I made my way back around the rock towards Nettie.
Right, here he is. He's back from being very close to the waterfall, and he's looking rather on the wet side.
Bracing.
How was it?
Bracing, and cold and wet, but really good. Got quite close.
Are you glad that you're that wet now?
No, not really. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
I think I'm the clever one. I didn't go.
Absolutely.
So what's going on with the eclipse, Si?
There is the solar eclipse. Just about. Wow.
So we had time, we thought, to climb up the steps to the viewpoint above the falls.
Walking off the breakfast that we had this morning, if nothing else.
And as we climbed, the view of the partial eclipse through our phones became clearer.
This was a steep, arduous climb, but you are rewarded with gorgeous views each time you stop to catch your breath. And eventually, we arrived at the top.
Well, made it. That's a hell of a climb. There's a viewpoint here. And looks like another one up there. Haven't got a lot of time. Quickly do both. Back to the van.
The views are worth it, just stunning, and we took advantage of the small amount of time we had to grab those all-important selfies and explore the top of the falls.
We had noticed the weather closing in and the skies were darkening rapidly, and it wasn't just the eclipse causing this, and a storm was approaching.
Time to head back down all those stairs. Look at them go all the way down there. Time to get back to the van. Off you go.
It's easier going down.
So we headed back and got back into the minibus, and we set off towards Vik and directly into the approaching storm.
Driving conditions became rather treacherous and the snowfall became heavy very quickly, and we were glad to arrive in Vik 50 minutes later.
And the visitor centre in Vik provided welcome refuge from the weather.
Okay, that was some drive from Skógafoss, and the weather really turned and it blew a blizzard, and as we just come over the top towards Vik, the roads were very difficult and the traffic was really struggling to get through some of the snowy roads and stuff. A snowplow coming through, but it just like backfilled as soon as it went through. Anyway, we're here in Vik. I don't know whether we're going to get up to the ice cave or not. It looks pretty treacherous out there, but we'll wait and see.
Some refreshments needed, and we hit the cafe. Just got myself a hot chocolate. Look at this. Wow, look at that. That's a hot chocolate and a half.
We were told that our trip to the ice cave was going ahead, and we boarded a different specially built Super Jeep bus and met our new guide Tate.
Tate explained that this Super Jeep bus would take us off the roads and up onto the glacier. The road soon disappeared and the snow got heavier, and then the headbagging started. How Tate could see where he was going was a complete mystery, as the snow was so heavy it was a total whiteout.
This was just another snowy day for Tate, and after an hour's journey into the blizzard, we parked up and adorned our safety gear.
And it was still blowing a blizzard, and there was an eerie stillness out on the glacier, and Tate led us out into the blizzard towards the ice cave.
We've just had an incredible sort of like 1 hour drive up onto the glacier. I mean, how he saw where he was going, I do not know. It was a complete whiteout. And now we're going to walk up to the ice cave.
Ice caves form each year in the glacier and are forever changing. Being formed when meltwater from the glacier freezes, the Katla Ice Caves are renowned for the frozen ice containing volcanic ash, as this glacier sits on top of an active volcano.
The walk from the Super Jeep bus to the ice caves wasn't a great distance and was fun in the deep snow. Visibility was still poor, and we could just make out the Super Jeep bus in the distance in the blizzard.
We needed cleats and a helmet to safely enter the ice cave, and Tate gave us a safety briefing before we filed in line to the mouth of the cave.
It was a climb up, and the snow was deep.
Some things just have to be done. Oh, missed.
Then into the spectacular cave, and this was yet another wow moment, and you can see the layers of volcanic ash in the ice frozen as the meltwater flowed through this place as the winter freeze happened last year. It's quite a sight.
The cave itself was about 30 to 35 metres deep, so not vast, and it didn't take long to explore, but this was a space that wouldn't exist in a few months during the warmer months, so we took our time to wonder what it is, and take plenty of pictures of course.
Tate took pictures of everybody as they left the cave, and back outside the group took the opportunity to enjoy some fun in the snow, and the snowballs started flying, and the snow angels also began to appear.
Trying to bring some order back to the proceedings, Tate then gave us a short lecture on the glacier and how it behaves each year. Fascinating. You enjoying your day, guys?
Well, we're making our way back to the bus now. That's been quite an experience. Watch where we're going, the snow's quite deep and uneven. What an excellent way to spend a day.
We trudged back to the Super Jeep bus and offloaded our PPE, and as we drove off the glacier, Tate cranked up the stereo again and the headbanging started again.
This 1 hour journey back to Vik seemed to fly by, and Tate took a detour onto a deserted stretch of one of Iceland's famous black sand beaches.
Tate explained about the dangers on this shore before allowing us out of the Super Jeep to experience the cold icy winds and sea spray on our faces, and it was rather bracing.
Our guide has just taken the detour and taken us down to one of the black sand beaches. It's still blowing a blizzard down here. It's chucking freezing.
The storm at the coast hadn't really subsided, and we knew not to stray too close to the water's edge in case one of the notorious sneaker waves came ashore that have been responsible for so many deaths on these shores.
This was though some spot and a great way to end our trip with Tate, and we got back aboard and headed back to Vik.
We ate our snacks that we had bought in bonus on the minibus, and after 30 minutes Roman was whisking us through snowy roads to our next destination, which was the beautiful Seljalandsfoss Waterfall. And during this 50-minute drive from Vik, the snows and storms had begun to subside.
Well, we're in our final stop for the day. We're at the last waterfall, and it's Seljalandsfoss, which is very spectacular. Apparently you can walk behind it, although you're going to get wet.
Very wet.
And it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, we might try it. It's last stop, isn't it?
So we got
Might wake us up a little bit, you never know.
an hour and a half in the van to dry out on the way back. All right, we'll see how we get on.
We followed the short path to these beautiful falls. Selfies done, then decision on whether to explore behind the waterfall. And the pathway follows a route over rocks and onto the ledge in the cliffs behind the waterfall.
And as we approached, we again were showered in spray, but this was some place, and those visitors brave enough to get us soaking were clearly enjoying the thrill of this place. And Nettie was so excited, she did a little dance.
Well, we've made it behind the waterfall and it's absolutely spectacular. It's a little soggy.
This was truly stunning and we soaked it all up, quite literally.
Then time to leave sadly, and we completed the circuit and returned to the main footpath.
Well, that was an experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How wet are we? Really good, really spectacular. I'm just going to need to dry out now. You enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, back on the bus.
There are other waterfalls to see here, but we had run out of both time and dry clothing.
Back on the minibus, we made some futile attempts to dry out as we headed the 90 minutes back to Reykjavik, and back in Reykjavik, the sun was out.
We headed back to our hotel and showered and changed into dry clothes.
It was past 8 o'clock in the evening and we needed a meal, but we also wanted a final beer. So where did you end up, Nettie?
It's a final night and we're shattered, it's late, so we're coming to Lemmy's for a final beer and a meal. So I'm looking forward to that.
Our final meal in our favourite bar washed down with a tasty Icelandic beer, and after we took a walk back to the hotel past the Sun Voyager again.
So that's it. That's our few days in Reykjavik done. Do you think Reykjavik is possibly the craziest, maddest weekend break we've done?
Oh yes, it surely is. It's absolutely been crazy, but I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, the Icelandic people are absolutely, they're bonkers, but they're great, aren't they?
It's mad. Absolutely mad. But we've loved it. I have anyway, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We've loved it. We'd
Thank you,
definitely do it
Reykjavik.
again, wouldn't we?
Oh, you're just amazing. Reykjavik is the best. Brilliant. Right, tomorrow morning, stupid o'clock, we're back in the UK. If you've got this far, thanks for joining us.
Bye.
What a weekend break this had been. Totally 100% amazingly crazy and fun.
And before we made this trip, we had wondered whether this would be our last visit to Iceland. But when you've had this much fun, how can anybody ever think that? And as we travel back to the UK, we planned what our next crazy adventure here would look like. Thanks for watching.
Please like and subscribe.